I need to tell you something, and you're probably not going to like it. You've stopped thinking. Not completely. You still make decisions. You still have opinions. You still argue with people online about things that make you angry. But that's not thinking. That's reacting. And there's a difference. Real thinking, the kind that actually changes how you see the world, the kind that makes you uncomfortable because it challenges what you already believe, that kind of thinking. You haven't done it in a while, maybe weeks, maybe months, maybe longer than you want to admit. And the scariest part, you didn't even notice it stop. Let me describe a moment you've definitely lived. You're scrolling, doesn't matter where, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. You see a headline, something that makes you feel something. Anger, usually. Sometimes fear. Occasionally that smug satisfaction of being right. And in that split second, you form a complete opinion. You know what you think about it. You know who's wrong. You know what should happen. All of this happens in less time than it takes to breathe. And then you keep scrolling. You didn't read the article. You didn't check the source. You didn't ask if the headline might be misleading or if there's context you're missing. You just knew, instantly, completely. And that felt like thinking. But it wasn't. It was your brain taking a shortcut because it's tired and overwhelmed. And frankly, it's been doing this all day and it just wants to rest. Here's what's happening to all of us right now. We're drowning in information. Every day, you're exposed to more data than someone 100 years ago would encounter in a lifetime. News, opinions, ads, updates, drama, outrage, hot takes, cold takes, someone's breakfast, someone's breakdown, someone's conspiracy theory that sounds just plausible enough to make you wonder. It never stops. And your brain wasn't designed for this. Your brain was designed to notice when a tiger was hiding in the grass, to remember where the good berries were, to recognize if someone in your tribe of 30 people was acting weird. That's it. But now you're trying to process information about wars and economics and climate change and celebrity scandals and political corruption and what your high school friend thinks about all of it, all at once, all the time. So your brain does what any exhausted system does. It starts cutting corners. Psychologists call this System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 is fast, automatic. It runs on instinct and pattern recognition. It's what helps you catch a ball or recognize a friend's face or feel uncomfortable in a dark alley. It's useful, essential even, but it's not thinking. System 2 is slow, deliberate. It's what you use to solve a complex problem or really understand something new or question whether what you believe is actually true. It's exhausting, it takes effort, and lately most of us have just stopped using it because we don't have the energy, because we're too tired. Because System 1 is faster and easier, and honestly, it gets us through the day. But here's the problem. System 1 doesn't care about truth. It cares about survival. It wants quick answers, not right answers. It wants certainty, not accuracy. And it will lie to you constantly to give you that certainty. Because uncertainty feels dangerous, and your brain is trying to keep you safe, even if that safety is an illusion. Let me tell you about Socrates. Not the philosopher God version, the actual guy. He walked around ancient Athens asking people questions, simple questions. What is justice? What is courage? What is knowledge? And people would answer confidently. Of course, they knew what justice was. They'd been talking about it their whole lives. But then Socrates would ask another question, and another. And slowly, methodically, he'd show them that they didn't actually know what they were talking about, that their confident answers were built on assumptions they'd never examined, that they'd been operating on autopilot, and people hated him for it. They literally killed him for it. Because nobody likes being shown that they don't actually understand something they thought they knew. It's uncomfortable, it's humiliating, it threatens your identity. So instead of thinking harder, they just got rid of the guy asking the questions. And we're doing the same thing now, except instead of killing Socrates, we're just blocking him, unfollowing him, dismissing him as a troll or a contrarian or someone who just doesn't get it. Because we've built a world where we never have to encounter anyone who asks us uncomfortable questions. Social media figured something out. They figured out that you don't want truth, you want comfort. You want to feel right. You want to be surrounded by people who agree with you. So that's what they give you. The algorithm learns what you like, what makes you click, what makes you stay, and then it shows you more of that and less of everything else, until your entire information diet is just you. Your opinions reflected back at you, your biases confirmed, your worldview reinforced, and it feels good. It feels like you're part of something, like you've found your people, like you're on the right side. But you're not thinking, you're echoing. There's a difference. I was talking to a friend the other day about something political. Doesn't matter what, and I asked them why they believed what they believed. Not in a confrontational way, just genuinely curious, and they got defensive immediately. Because it's obvious, because everyone knows, because the other side is insane. But when I pushed a little more, when I asked them to actually explain the reasoning, to show me the evidence they were basing this on, they got frustrated. Not because they couldn't find the evidence, but because they'd never looked for it in the first place. They believed it because their news source said it, because their friends believed it, because it fit their identity. And questioning it felt like betraying themselves. That's not my friend's fault. That's all of us. We've outsourced our thinking to tribes, to algorithms, to whoever yells the loudest, and we don't even realize we've done it. Here's the uncomfortable part. You probably think you're the exception. You probably think you're one of the people who still thinks critically, who questions things, who doesn't fall for propaganda or groupthink or media manipulation. And maybe you are, but probably not. Because the thing about not thinking is that it doesn't feel like not thinking. It feels like clarity. It feels like you've figured it out, like you're awake and everyone else is asleep. That's how it always feels, to everyone, on every side of every issue. We're all convinced we're the ones thinking clearly, and we're all mostly wrong. There was this philosopher Immanuel Kant who said something interesting. He said enlightenment is humanity's emergence from self-imposed immaturity. Self-imposed, that's the key word. Because we're not being forced into this. We're choosing it. We're choosing the easy answer over the true one. We're choosing comfort over curiosity. We're choosing to let other people do our thinking for us because thinking is hard and we're tired. And Kant would say that's immaturity, not in an insulting way, in a factual way. Maturity means taking responsibility for your own mind, for what you believe and why you believe it, for whether you actually know something or you're just repeating what you heard. And most of us, we're not doing that. We're children pretending to be adults, making confident declarations about things we barely understand, getting angry at people who disagree without ever asking if maybe, just maybe, we're missing something. So what do? How do you start thinking again? I don't have a perfect answer, but I have some thoughts. First, slow down. Just slow down. When you see something that makes you feel something, stop. Don't react immediately. Don't share it. Don't form an opinion in 3 seconds. Sit with it. Ask yourself, do I actually know this is true? Where did this come from? What am I not seeing? Most of the time, you won't do this because it's exhausting. But even doing it occasionally, even catching yourself once a day, that's something. Second, seek out discomfort. Deliberately. Read things you disagree with, not to mock them, to understand them. Because if you can't explain the other side's position in a way they'd recognize, you don't actually understand the issue. You just understand your side, which isn't understanding at all. Third, question yourself, not just others, yourself. What do you believe that might be wrong? What opinion do you hold because it makes you feel good, not because it's true? What are you afraid to question because your identity is built around it? Those are the places where real thinking happens, not in attacking others, in examining yourself. Here's what I've realized. The opposite of thinking isn't stupidity. It's certainty. Stupid people can think. Uncertain people can think. But certain people? People who already know everything? They've stopped. They're done. They've arrived at their conclusions and now they're just defending them. And maybe that's the real crisis. Not that we're dumb, but that we're sure, so sure that we don't need to think anymore. So sure that anyone who disagrees must be evil or brainwashed or stupid. So sure that we've stopped asking questions, because we already have all the answers. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know how to fix this on a societal level. maybe we can't. Maybe this is just what happens when you give everyone instant access to infinite information and no time to process any of it. But I do know this. You can start thinking again, not perfectly, not all the time, but sometimes, in small moments, when you catch yourself reacting instead of reflecting, when you notice you're echoing instead of analyzing, when you feel certain about something you haven't actually examined. That's where it starts. Not with some grand revolution, just with you, alone, in a quiet moment, asking, do I actually know this? Or do I just believe I know it? And being willing to sit with the discomfort of not having an answer. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about thinking. It doesn't make you smarter. It makes you more uncertain, more confused, more aware of how much you don't know. And that's terrifying. Because we live in a world that rewards confidence, not accuracy. That values strong opinions, not honest doubt. So thinking, real thinking, makes you feel like you're falling behind. Like everyone else has figured it out and you're still asking basic questions. But maybe that's okay. Maybe being confused is better than being wrong. Maybe doubt is more honest than false certainty. Maybe the people who admit they don't know are actually closer to truth than the people who never question anything. So here's my question for you. What do you believe right now that you've never actually thought about? What opinion are you defending that you never formed, you just adopted? What are you certain of that maybe you shouldn't be? I don't know your answer, but I bet you do. Somewhere in the back of your mind, that little voice that whispers, "Are you sure?" Listen to it. Not always, not obsessively, just sometimes. Because that voice, that's you. The real you. The one that hasn't stopped thinking yet.